You are listening to the Morning Glory podcast. My name is Jared Betts, and I'm joined by Wilson Tian.
Yay. What about you, Jared? I noticed you're wearing pants.
That's a change from normal, isn't it? At least my pants have pockets, and I don't have to carry around a handbag.
I am unburdened by the freedom.
Oh, unburdened, right.
What's new, Jared? What did we do in the weekend?
Where do we start on this one? Well, we decided to go out, like normal people. And what happened? We ran into one of your old friends, whom is a girl, on the street, and you talked for a little bit. And then on the way out, she put her arms up, and you thought she was doing like a double high five, and then you sort of locked hands, and it turned into this weird, awkward hug. One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, but you laughed harder the second time when I tried to high five the other guy, and he didn't put his hand up.
It's like the most socially awkward thing that could happen.
But I think I did a good recovery. It was like, whoa.
Well, I was the only one that saw, so it was okay.
He didn't even see.
You're not the only one.
What do you do? I think the best thing is to not do anything and let them...
Look around, to make sure no one saw you, and then just go about your day.
Yeah, that's what I did, I think.
I think mine was worse, actually, when the guy dropped his phone near my feet, and I tried to be all helpful and pick it up for him. And
you threw it?
Yeah, and then smashed it into a chair and threw it, 3 times as far.
That guy was very generous. He didn't punch you in the head or anything. Well, I've got a story to tell you.
Really?
I think you already know the story, but I'll...
inform the viewers. They're on the edge of their seat waiting to hear stories from Wilson.
Yeah. At this social gathering, a bit of background history. Our friend is homosexual, and he has many friends who are also homosexual, that I understand. And every time we've gone out with them, there has been at least 1 or 2 people who are homosexual. You following me, Jared?
This is pretty difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we went there, and when you were away with the girls at the bar for 45 minutes, I was trying to drop hints to one of our friend's homosexual friends. I was trying to drop hints to our friend's homosexual friends that I wasn't gay.
Are you that insecure about the whole thing?
No, I was afraid, because you know how our friends...
Hey man, been screwing a lot of chicks lately.
I didn't say something like that. I said, your cousin's really attractive, and it was a female cousin, and he was like, yeah. And at the same time, he was trying to drop hints to me that he was heterosexual, that he wasn't gay.
So what did he say to you?
It's like,
you're not attractive at all.
I love hugging all these chicks. I love something like that. I can't remember.
God, you both sound so incredibly insecure.
The whole time we were trying to convince each other that we weren't into each other. And then eventually, about half an hour later, someone brings it up, and we both realize that we're both... I realized he was heterosexual, and he learns that I'm heterosexual as well.
God, you guys should have just made out or something. Congratulations, you're the most insecure person I've ever met.
How's that insecure?
And a total homophobe. In fact, I'm sickened to stand here talking to you right now.
Oh, you...
What are you so worried about that this guy thought you were gay for?
I didn't want him, making moves on me or something like that.
Oh, God, because you're so desirable.
Shut up,
every gay man just can't stop thinking about you, can't keep their hands off you. Jeez. Sorry, it's not insecurity, it's total arrogance.
Just making sure.
I wanted to talk to you, Wilson, about this amazing new iPod application I found.
All right, what is it?
It's called... I don't know if I've told you about this already, but it's called Sleep Talk. And you plug in a little microphone, and it's supposed to detect when you make noise and record you if you're talking.
Yep.
So I tried this out last night, and there were some recordings there, but I thought I would save them to play them here.
You recorded yourself sleep talking, am I correct, Jared?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this. Is it like uncontrollable cussing like that Irishman?
Let's find out. Okay, I'm just opening up the application. So let's see what happened. That's fairly normal, I suppose. Guy Sebastian. Breathing fists of fury. Wilson, I hate you so much.
Are you sure you're asleep?
Why do you carry around a handbag? Oh, well. Oh, that's embarrassing. I now regret not listening to this before I played it to you.
Should we just do what we do every week? Let's go to advice.
Sounds like you need some right now. Marcel says, my mother has too many houseplants. How can I convince her to get rid of some?
That sounds like such a stupid question.
Well, not really. I don't know. I thought this was kind of appropriate for you, actually, because
you choose everything that's appropriate for me.
Well, I mean, I've been to your flat and you have like 1 million bonsai plants sitting on your balcony, covered in cling wrap for some reason.
The cling wrap is there for a reason.
Why?
Well,
Does it keep them moist?
It does. It keeps them moist. If the sun evaporates the water from the dirt, like in the one afternoon, it kills the plant. So I cling wrap it. So when it evaporates, it condenses on the cling wrap and then soaks back into the soil.
How clever of you!
Thank you.
Now, how can I convince you to get rid of some of them? Because it's freaking me out a little bit.
I
mean, I went to your place recently. We walk out onto your veranda. There's maybe 50 of them out there. Okay, fair enough. That's kind of outside.
Exaggerating.
Not at all. But then, we walk into your kitchen. There's one in there. I even went into your bathroom. There's one just sitting there staring at me. It freaks me out. So what's the reasoning behind this? Why do you have so many of them?
I don't know. It's like...
I mean, do you spend all your time looking after them?
No, actually, that's precisely the reason why I have plants instead of animals. I mean, look at your fish here, man. That's a lot of work. I bet you have to clean the bowl like every month, do you?
Oh, well, you should, but that doesn't mean I do it. Therefore, it's an easy pet to look after.
Well, I used to have chickens.
Neglect your pet, and it's fine. Sorry, go on.
I used to have chickens, mice, rabbits, guinea pigs, and all of them, and budgies, and all of them.
What, in your little flat?
Yeah. Oh, no, this is not all at once. This is throughout. Over time, they died or they escaped.
Or you killed them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They died under suspicious circumstances.
Here at the Morning Board podcast, we do not condone any kind of animal cruelty.
Oh, no, I'm fine with that. Well, how did they die then?
I don't know. I had a goldfish like yours, and I put it outside on the balcony, and it died.
Yeah, well, that doesn't explain how.
I think it died from the sun. Because it was green. It was
a
goldfish turned green. It was about like 2-3 days.
Well, you just left it out there on its own. 2-3 days.
What's the difference leaving it in here on its own?
Well, you're leaving it outside. I mean, did you still go out and feed it?
Yeah, I did. And
so you didn't notice it
the
floating on the top?
goldfish will not die from not being fed for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I know, but you're still supposed to feed it. Just because it can... Like, people can survive for like a week without food doesn't mean it's good for you.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean you're going to die.
Yeah, but it's still not
If
healthy.
you don't eat for a week, actually, you probably would. Maybe.
I think that's the limit. It's like 3 days for water. It says Bear Grylls.
Yeah, but the fish is always in the water.
The fish also drinks its own piss like Bear Grylls, so...
The fish doesn't have a camera crew. So the fish is better than Bear Grylls.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it was pretty messed up. I think it died from natural causes like old age. I also had mice, which Okay, this one is actually quite cruel. I put it in a cage, like you do mice. And one day I was cleaning out the cage, and because, mice piss everywhere and it smells like piss and all that, I cleaned out the cage and I put the mice back in the cage, but then I left the cage outside on the balcony.
I'm noticing a pattern here.
And it didn't die because of the sun, and it didn't end up turning green. But I went out afterwards, but when I came back, I noticed...
You little bastard, you've been pissing everywhere. Kick it off the balcony.
I noticed it had died. It was dead. It was lying on there, it was motionless, and it started to smell. And I asked my mum, what the hell happened to my mice, Mum? And she was like, there was a crow, and it was attacking the cage.
Well, it's a good thing she intervened then.
Oh, she went outside and she said, I went outside and I shooed it away.
Stop that crow, and then she went back inside.
And yes, she did. She shooed it away, went inside. But I think the crow probably came back, or the mice died from a heart attack. I found that mice as well. I was cleaning out the garage.
Oh, so you just stole some disgusting...
It wasn't a street mice. It's one of those really, really beautiful, like...
Grey mice.
No, not grey mice.
They're beautiful.
Remember, the grey mice become rats when they leave the house. No, it was it's one of those pet mice you buy at the store. They got like brown spots and it's white and it's got like, I don't know, like it's really domesticated.
I would have thought living on the street for a little while like it had, would have been able to fight off that crow.
Well, see, the reason why I caught it was because it had somehow crawled into the garage, and in the garage I have these, You know those styrofoam packaging foam?
Mm.
You know how they actually have like biodegradable ones now made from wheat husk?
Mm.
It was attracted to that, and it was eating that,
They taste nice.
and it was dehydrated from eating all the wheat foam, and that's why I caught it. It was like, bleh.
Wait, isn't that the kind of stuff, if you eat that and then you drink water, it explodes inside of you?
I thought that would be what would happen.
Oh, that's why you did it, isn't
No,
it? That's
no.
why you got it. You wanted to see that.
After
and then
I-
it survived, so you had to look after it then.
And then I left
Sucked
it inadvertently on the balcony with a crow.
Convenient.
No.
Oh, mother, what's happened here? Oh, I don't care.
I also had mosquito larvae as pets at one
You
point.
are a strange person.
And they grew up and flew away.
It sounds like it sounds like you were raising birds or something.
I
They
had
grew up and they flew
budgies.
away. I love those little guys. Those little suckers. It was a bit painful around feeding time, though.
Yeah, I killed a few of them.
I wasn't sure which were mine and which were wild
The wild
ones.
ones. You're not domesticated. What was the question? Oh yeah, the plants. Yeah, I just tell your mother that
Yeah, just be straight with her. Tell her you don't want them around. Jeez.
just
move on.
kick it off the balcony.
If you don't like something, put it on the balcony. It will die soon enough.
Or it disappears.
I'm wondering why your mother hasn't been around for weeks now.
It's time for our popular movie review, and this movie, documentary is...
Virgin School.
Yes, that's right, you heard it. Virgin School. Now, you think it's a school full of virgins, pretty young virgins, but no, it's full of...
You watched the wrong movie again, didn't you? Because I've got a little bit of a punishment for you in some ways, and it'll be entertaining for everybody else.
Okay.
Because you decided to just end the segment, lose a question, gain an answer on your own. We didn't even talk about that. You just turned up last week and said, "Oh, I couldn't be bothered to write the questions. This segment's run its course." I mean, maybe you should just try being funnier. Give it a chance. Give yourself a chance.
Can I guess that you've written some loser question answer something?
No, I agree with you. It's probably has run its course. It's pretty crap. But because you decided on your own, this week we're starting up our new segment. I don't know what to call it.
What are we doing?
The brilliant jokes of David Koch are going to be tested on the general public. And okay, so
Is Kosh likely to enter a lawsuit with us?
I don't think they're his jokes. He didn't write them. And if he did, then he's rubbish. No, I don't think there's nothing wrong with his jokes. I mean, the thing they say about jokes, I don't know, they might say it, is it's not
What
you
you say.
it's how you say it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that means this can come down to a competition between you and me. Who has the better comedic delivery? And we can keep a tally each week of who laughs and who doesn't, or who gets a laugh and who doesn't, and I don't know, do something at the end of the series.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know, make the other person do something stupid and film it.
It's a David Kosh showdown. Is it David?
It's David Koch.
Yep. Koshy showdown.
So I went out and I spent $15 on this book.
Wow. I'm not even sure that's worth the paper it's printed on.
We're taking that to the bathroom later, and not to read it.
Are we going to do it over the phone
Yeah,
right now?
yeah. Just so you can get an idea of the kind of material we're dealing with here, I'll read one to you. Sorry. Okay, here's one for you. What do you get when you wipe your bottom with a newspaper?
I have no idea.
A news update. I really don't get that.
I think he's talking about like your fiber or something. There's this blonde out for a walk. She comes to a river and sees another blonde on the opposite bank. Yoo-hoo, she shouts. How can I get to the other side? The second blonde looks up the river and then down the river and shouts back, You are on the other side.
I think she hung up halfway through it.
This is not working.
Hello?
What would you call it when an Italian has one arm shorter than the other? A speech impediment.
Why on earth have I got this phone call?
It's just a quick test to see if you found this joke funny. Did you find that funny at all?
I didn't, no.
Oh, really? Oh, I got a laugh, though. That's a win for me. Would
Okay.
you like me to read it again?
No, it's all right, thanks.
Okay.
Who are you?
Oh, this is just Jared and Wilson from the Morning Glory podcast.
Oh, okay. I have no idea who that is.
Okay, well, you should
Okay.
Google us. You'll find out.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You probably made a day, Jared. Well, I didn't even get the joke.
I've always wanted to get a leech. But, like, whenever my family and I have gone bushwalking, someone has almost always gotten a leech, and it's usually my sister. I don't know what they're worried about. I just want to see what it's like to get my blood sucked and then, salted off, stuff like that.
Yeah, get a girlfriend.
And cut. I feel terrible, Wilson.
Why?
The other day I downloaded a movie, and then I watched it, and I kept it, but I didn't pay for it.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize I came across this thing on the internet called accidental piracy. And it turns out it was a crime. I had no idea this whole time I've been a criminal. Just had no idea whatsoever.
You better let the children out of the closet then.
What?
Because I think that's a crime somewhere else in another state.
Oh no, I'm an accidental pedophile as well. Damn it. Oh, that ruins my later on joke. That's good.
What's your
Accidental murderer.
I'm sorry. Well, what are you going to do about it, Jared? I mean, what is an accidental pirate? Where can I learn more?
Well, if you'd like to learn more, I don't want to advertise for these people, but I suppose we have to build some kind of context here. If you go to accidentalpirate.com.au, you can see their entire campaign and watch the stupid ad. I don't know. They must really be losing the fight against piracy if they're going to stoop this low. I mean, they're basically just saying, just in case you didn't know. And it's like, everybody knows that downloading music and movies is illegal.
I'll read a line from their internet website that says 34% Australians said they see piracy as stealing or theft, but they regularly do it by burning, buying, or downloading illegal or unauthorized copies of films or TV programs. That's 1 in 3 are accidental pirates. That's a new term that they quoted. Accidental is like, we know you're a bad person, but we don't want to make you feel alienated.
Yeah, look, you've done it for a little while, and look, we'll turn a blind eye to that, that's okay, but just so you know, it is illegal.
Yeah, so you should really not do it. Please don't do it.
Please, we're desperate. We only make billions of dollars a year.
That means 1 in 3 Australians participate in something that they don't agree with. I like how one of the quotes by David Roach, the writer and producer of Beneath Hill 60, said, "It takes a small army of people to make a movie, so anytime someone downloads a film illegally, it makes our job, which is getting great Australian stories onto screen, that much more difficult." When's the last time you downloaded Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, Derek?
It's funny that you bring that up as an Australian movie, a movie that came out like 20 years ago. That's the only Australian movie you can think of.
Crocodile Dundee?
Well, that's even longer ago, isn't it? I don't think I've ever watched an Australian movie in the past, 5 years maybe?
I mean, there's really not that much to download from there's not much. If you're going to steal, you're going to be stealing from the Americans.
This is where the Australian movie industry is safe. Their movies are so unpopular that you can't find them to download because there's no demand for it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're safe, Australian movie industry.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be too worried. You're even if 34% of Australians, that's 34% of whatever that may be. Like 34% of 0 is still 0.
Suck on that.
Tony Singleton, MD of creative agency The Furnace, who designed and created the campaign for IPAF, which is the Intellectual Property Association Awareness. Association?
IPAF. That's an acronym. One word at a time for each initial. Let's start it again. Come on, you can do it.
Thanks, Jared. Tony Singleton, MD of creative agency The Furnace, who designed and created the campaign for IPAF, which stands for Intellectual Property Awareness Foundation.
Yes, he got there.
Said, previously, anti-piracy campaigns have mainly told consumers off. But if you're basically appealing to people's better nature to do the right thing, then wagging fingers at them doesn't get you very far. We need to take a completely different approach. Stop talking down to people and start engaging in a conversation.
I reckon they should use that. You know, the RTA ad for speeding with the little finger being pointed up to infer that the speeder has a small penis. They should use that for this as well. And they should use that for every campaign like this. You know, if you smoke marijuana, oh, bad, you've got a small penis. If you pirate movies, you must have a small penis because it's probably porn.
And if you're a person that advocates body image problems, you've got a small penis. I like how Tony Singleton is taking a new approach because he says that before they were talking down at consumers. This reminds me of the 5 stages of grief. At the first stage, it's denial and isolation.
Did this turn into a psychology
class? Just let me get there, please.
Okay, I'm just going to shoot off. I'll see you later.
Cause for a recess.
Bye. You can talk while I'm gone, by the way.
Anyway,
Yeah, go on. Sounds good.
5 stages of grief. First stage is denial and isolation. That's a stage we would not have heard of because they would have like, no, there's no piracy, we'll be fine. The second stage is anger, and that's when they're being angry at us. The third stage is bargaining, and that's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to make conversation with us. The fourth stage is great. It's depression.
I can't wait for that one.
And the fifth stage is acceptance.
Oh, no, I think they've kind of gotten to depression a little bit. You know how they show, I don't know if you've seen it, those, I think the ad goes, "What are you really burning?" And it's got like a flaming screen and like a picture of Happy Feet, the poster burning down. What are you burning? You're really burning the future of Australian movies and television.
Was Happy Feet made in Australia?
Yeah, that was an Australian movie.
When was it?
I have an interesting question for you. Do you think piracy ads themselves have a copyright on them? Would it be illegal to play this in the background?
I don't know. What are you playing? Oh, that's why.
When this first came out, I loved this piracy ad. I would watch that when it would come on automatically at the start of every DVD because the song is so awesome.
It makes pirating cool.
Yeah.
You're such a badass.
You wouldn't steal a television out of a window because downloading movies is just as easy.
Download a television.
I love this song. But are we going to get in trouble for this? Do you reckon there's a copyright on this song?
Maybe.
I think we should make it our theme song and just see how long it takes for someone to get us in trouble.
Piracy is a crime.
It was that little 14-year-old girl downloading movies.
What about
keep
Olivia
going.
Clements she's an intern at Hopscotch Films. If we want to consider ourselves as a culturally informed, mature nation, we need to encourage the growth of our arts and film industry. And piracy is really stinting that.
Yeah, and you know how you get your artwork out there? You spread it as much as possible to as many people as you can.
I agree.
It's not about artwork, it's about money.
And what the hell is a mature nation anyway? Once Australia grows some, pubic hair...
It's called Tasmania. Boom, boom, boom. We here at the Morning Glory podcast do not partake, nor do we condone the downloading of movies and music. We don't do it, and neither should you.
This is just to cover our asses legally.
Shut up, Wilson. Bow, bow, bow.
Inventor Sir James Dyson says Chinese students are infiltrating British universities to steal technological and scientific secrets and even planting software bugs to relay the information to China.
The guy that invented the vacuum cleaner is saying that, is he?
Dyson, best known for inventing the bagless vacuum cleaner, said he had evidence that the bugs were left by postgraduates to ensure their thefts continues after they returned home. Oh no, my phone's ringing. Must be the Chinese government.
Don't you tell him anything. I'm listening.
All right, after I've dealt with those officials. He said the extent to which foreign students dominated many science, technology, and engineering research posts, often paid for by the British taxpayer, was madness! As an exporter and someone developing technology here, it's very disheartening to see these universities being used by foreign countries and foreign companies, Dyson told London's Sunday Times. Universities acknowledge the threat from espionage and are taking measures to counter it. Britain is very proud about the number of foreign students we educate at our universities, but actually, all we are doing is educating our competitors. The Chinese embassy said it has no knowledge of the claims. Well, Jared, now you know the whole reason why I'm doing this podcast, to send it to my comrades back home.
Yeah, well, joke's on you, because if they listen to this, they're going to get stupider.
They probably will be listening to this and never mind. Yeah, go ahead, Jared. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
How dare you, first of all.
How dare me? Sorry, go ahead.
Secondly,
go ahead.
Secondly, I think Mr. Dyson is severely overestimating the research I'm sure this UK university is doing. I think knowledge is to be shared, Mr. Dyson. You just want all the credit for everything, don't you? It will make the world a better place. Maybe the Chinese can take this crap that you've been doing in your crappy little university and put a lot more manpower and money into it and make it even better.
But they're competition, Jared.
See, when are we going to break down the borders, man? We don't want competition. We should be working together, man.
Man!
Dude. Hombre.
Being a Chinese person myself...
What?
Wait...
When did this happen?
Some 23 years ago. I can understand how they'd be paranoid about that. I'd be pretty paranoid if someone was stealing my secrets, Jared. But I think that article just kind of incites kind of irrational prejudice, I think.
It might be a bit of a propaganda piece because Mr. Dyson hates Asians and he doesn't want the university to allow foreign students into the...
Why does Mr. Dyson hate Asians?
He probably doesn't. I'm just saying it could be... there's bigger things to be worried about.
I bet China's somehow worked out how to, break his patent and make a even bagless vacuum cleaner.
How about a vacuumless bag and you just go around with a special Dyson invented brush and sweep it into the bag? How amazing would that be?
Amazing, Jared.
And charge twice the price for it.
And the bag is also disposable, biodegradable, and I'm never going to buy another Dyson product again.
And I'm sure you never have in the first place. Anyway, let's move on from homosexuals and get on to bagging out women. In our regular segment, Advice. Christopher says, why should women be allowed to vote since science has proven their brains are closer in size to a gorilla's? You're a bit of a misogynist, Wilson, so I thought you'd like that question.
Oh, really? Am I? Where has science proven that their brains are closer to the size of a gorilla's?
He didn't leave any paperwork to back that up.
Referencing.
Do you know you can teach a gorilla sign language?
Can you?
I mean, there was this movie, I can't remember what it was called, but there was this movie about a gorilla, and it does sign language, and some machine on its arm detects the sign language and talks for the gorilla. So technically, basically the gorilla can communicate with people.
Really?
And then later on there was some sort of genetically modified blue gorillas, and, they were trying to kill the people, and they were in a cave, and the people had a laser gun or something like that, and they were
sounds like
shooting
Planet
it.
of the Apes.
And then the blue monkeys were scared of the real monkey.
Was it a documentary?
No, it was a documentary. Did I not just say laser guns and genetically modified gorillas? Does that sound realistic to you?
I don't know why'd you say that then.
I forget my point. Yeah, well, if a gorilla can learn sign language and women can't learn sign language, maybe this guy's correct.
Well, I'm pretty sure once you place this computer sign language reading device on a woman, you could hear what she says. And
it'd just be something like, blah, 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 shopping, blah, 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 Sex in the City, blah, 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 women. The sperm whale has the biggest brain of any mammal, I think. Some whale has the biggest brain of any mammal, so maybe it should be given the right to vote. And we all should be... We should all have our right to vote taken away. What do you think about that?
I don't vote anyway.
Bum, bum, bum. We here at the Morning Glory podcast do not encourage nor do we condone sexism towards women. We don't do it, and neither should you. Oh, I said do it.
Bum, bum, bum. Jared.
Yes, Wilson?
You wouldn't have to work with anyone that's mentally ill, would you?
I suspect, but it hasn't been proven.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about this person.
He's Asian. He's got black hair. He never has pockets in his pants, and that's just weird. So I don't know. He talks a lot of crap. He Googles his symptoms of sicknesses on.
All right, Jared. I think I've. Can we just get with the segue?
Go on.
You are better than 40% of most Australians,
and therefore it probably.
Well, 40% of Australians don't agree. And that other 20% who said they...
other 60%.
Sorry, no, there was 80% said that they would allow for a mentally ill person to work in the workplace, but 40% said they shouldn't work next to us.
So 40% of those 80%?
No, well, it doesn't say of what percent. It says 80% say they should be able to work and they should be able to live independently, but 40% say, well, we don't want them to work independently. I'm not saying 50%.
Well, that equals 120%.
No, you don't understand.
So is it 40% of the 80% or is it 120%
40% of the 80% is 50% of the 80%.
What?
There's 20% unaccounted for, and that 20% are the people who believe that these mentally ill people shouldn't be able to live independently and work for themselves.
So now it's 140%.
Let's move on.
Anthroposophy.
Yeah, me and Jared decided to go to a cult gathering. What do you call it? A meeting? Yeah, a meeting.
Or, yeah, okay.
Where they talk
They call it a meeting.
Yeah.
We call it
a cult gathering. And they talk about the philosophical works of... What was this guy's name again?
Rudolf Steiner.
Rudolf Steiner.
The meeting was titled "Turning Stones into Bread: Money as the Veil of Karma and the Social Question of Our Time." Yeah, well, like I said, it felt like the room smelt weird. It was full of weird old people, and the only young people there were looked like sort of, they had dirty hair and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole time I was just waiting for the sacrifice of the lamb and the drinking of the punch. Anthroposophy. I didn't read that big handout thing. There was a handout there, like a 4 or 5 page piece of paper talking about what anthroposophy is. It reminds me of Scientology. If you read Dianetics, it's just a bunch of words on a piece of paper made incredibly complicated. Yeah, just overly complicated so that it seems deep and meaningful, but it has no meaning whatsoever, basically.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think we can end it there because the rest of it was a load of rubbish. I fell asleep 2 out of 3 times. Or, maybe to the anthroposophy people, I had lapses in consciousness in a spiritual way, but I fell asleep.
You need some gift money.
I do.
Well, would you like to explain? You seem to understand this more than I did. Maybe you can... Okay, I know I sort of go on about this a lot, but, you're sort of susceptible to the... Susceptible to, the weird stuff out there. You seem to get on board with that pretty easily. So...
Sorry, I don't interrupt. Go ahead. Finish.
Don't defend yourself. Maybe you'd like to explain what the hell this woman was going on about when she was talking about this new economic idea for the world.
Well, not so much susceptible, but I think understanding.
Brainwashable. Go on.
Okay, Mr. Cynic. I'm not... Okay, hey, hold on.
You call it cynicism, I call it realism.
From what I understood, what the lady said... The world needs a whole new economic kind of perspective on things, and that money should be labeled in spiritual terms or something like that. Did you know, according to her, money has expiry date, Jared? Well, how many forms of money were there? There was gift money, there was loan money, there was production money?
Yeah, I think there was 3 different types of money.
When you get your wage... Whatever money you need to spend to live is what? Production money? Purchasing money. Sorry, yes. Purchasing money. And whatever you save up to invest back into whatever you're investing in is loan money. And whatever money you don't need is gift money. And you give that money to someone who needs it. And when they receive it, if they need it for purchasing or for investing, it becomes purchase money or investment money.
And you have to sort of give this money away because if you keep it, it expires.
Yeah, it stagnates.
Yeah, so basically she's saying, she's like trying to put forward this amazing new idea saying, what if money had an expiry date? She says, well, furrowing her brow. And then, you hear like 2 or 3 people in the audience going, oh, well, that's inflation. And she just completely ignores that.
She's like, well, wait.
No. Stop asking questions. It's not for asking questions. Which is what people did 150 years ago when Rudolf Steiner was putting forward these ideas. People were constantly questioning it because they didn't understand it. But no, it's not his ideas. It's the stupid people. They couldn't understand his ideas.
No, yeah.
They're way too profound. Don't ask questions. Don't question anything. Just
give me your gift money.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't understand this whole thing. It seems like it's this weird meld of sort of Eastern spirituality with the talk of karma. And then she suddenly brings up Christianity and she's talking about Jesus and Judas and all that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And then suddenly it's all about economics. And then I still didn't understand at the end of it. Are they for money or are they against money? Sometimes she's bagging it out and sometimes she's saying it's wonderful. And then she's pointing at a thigh going, it's all my will. And then holding her hands up and saying, stars, stars. My ideas are in my stars.
And when she drew that squiggle on the board and said, evidence! Evidence!
Yeah, she draws a sine wave on there. It has arrows pointing up and down at it. And she goes up there and just, it's evidence.
It's like a mathematical theorem, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's really annoying, these types of people that are into this kind of thing, like especially her, obviously. And, every little thing she says, it's true. It's actually true. Like, nothing else in the world is true. This obscure, stupid idea that she's come across at some point, yeah, that's the real truth of the universe. Everything else is just wrong. But anyway, most of it, I don't know, it was hard to pay attention. I was always distracted by the, the string that's attached to glasses to stop them from falling off your neck? Hers was around the wrong way, and it was around the front of her face. And the whole time I was just hoping her glasses would fall off. And then at one point she got all excited and slapped it up and hit herself in the face with the string.
I remember that.
That's when I realized I wasn't paying attention. How do you feel about doing some good, Wilson?
I'm interested, yes.
Are you?
Depends on how much I have to do.
Talk, mainly.
Okay, what do I have to do?
Well, it's about time for our segment, Advice. The segment where we help people. We've helped everybody that we've answered questions for so far. I don't know how they could go wrong after the advice that we've given them.
Yeah. You know what? I think with the amount of advice we've been given out, the state of the world should not be in the state it is in now.
Well, that's just it. It has, there's obviously nothing going on politically in the world. It's all just natural disasters, so
And we can't help that.
we can't help that. Maxine asks, what colour should I dye my hair? This just made me think of you when I found this when this question was asked, because remember that time where you completely shaved your head bald and your eyebrows as well? What was that about? Was that because I don't know? We weren't as close of friends back then.
Well,
All I remember-
honestly, obviously, after the shaving, we became closer, right?
Maybe I was just intrigued by your Britney Spears style antics. I just remember going to the beach in our group and seeing you lathering up your head with sunscreen.
I don't remember that occasion, but I
happened a
do
few
remember
times.
that occasion when I was with my friend, and he's like, "Do you have cancer?" I'm like,
Awkward question.
and because usually I see my friends on and off over long periods of time, it is quite possible that I could have gotten cancer in the 6 months I hadn't seen anyone. I'll tell you why I shaved my head bald.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I've just figured it out. But go on. Yeah, you go
Well,
first.
what'd you figure out?
I reckon you were thinking you're not getting enough attention in life, so you went to an absolute extreme of... you didn't actually say it, but when people look at you, they would assume that you've got cancer, so they would treat you nicer.
That's like...
That's like psychopath type shit. Why would you do that?
No, that's called Munchausen disease.
What do you mean? Where you pretend you've got something?
Yeah, to gain sympathy. Munchausen. Yeah.
Munchausen's.
Munchausen.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
But no, Jared, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, sure.
The truth was, I was afraid of going bald because my father is...
So you shave it all off and go bald?
Yeah, well,
Even your eyebrows?
conquer the fear, like, head on. And,
Okay, so it was about conquering the fear.
yeah, exactly. Okay.
Why would you do the eyebrows as well, though?
I don't know, my aunt thought it'd be cool. He's like, your eyebrows are too light, so I'm going to shave them off so they grow back heavier. I'm like, they don't do that. And when I said that, she had already taken...
Like one off, so you just have to have one.
Yeah, I had to have the other one off.
And you draw the other one on with
Markers.
yeah. And then you start like dotting your head as well after you do
How's this got to do with the advice section?
Because I think you need some... I don't think you need advice. I think you need a psychiatrist at times. Okay, then let's stay on track. What colour would you dye your hair if you had a choice? And you do have a choice.
I think I'd dye it blue.
So you'd be one of those annoying, weird people that, it's just, oh, look at me, I'm so quirky, my hair's a weird colour.
Yeah, totally. I think
That's just as bad as the going bald thing.
Is it?
Almost.
What will you dye your hair, Jared?
I wouldn't.
No, you...
I'm
you
happy
can't,
the way I am.
You cannot escape the answer. I would have said I wouldn't as well, because I haven't, and I never will. But
Yeah,
you can't
I don't
escape the answer like
Well,
the
yeah, no, but
question.
you've gone weird bald before. I think you are the kind of person that would do that. I mean, you've also gone emo hair for a while as well.
What's wrong with emo hair?
Nothing.
What's with your eyebrow piercing there, Jared?
Piercing. It's to make me look tough, so that no one, messes with me.
But if someone messes you, that's the first thing they're going to go for.
Yeah, I know. I've heard about that where someone has been punched in that area and it's sort of been inserted into their skull. So hopefully it works as a visual deterrent before that happens.
Yeah, because I think it's just like having a lip ring or a nose ring. It's the first thing you hang on to when you're in.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, the advice is
what
dye
color
your
should
hair whatever color you choose. What was the name?
I don't know.
Maxine, you should dye your hair as whatever color you choose and whatever color that highlights your features and makes you more attractive.
Well, that's boring. Let's move on. I'm surprised that it seems like, unlike the federal election, there's not that much going on in the media with the crazy promises of what's gonna, what each side's gonna give you if they get into power. I've noticed this time, except for when I found this today. New South Wales Premier Christina Keneally promises $16 million for koala protection.
Wow.
Labor will set up a $16 million fund to protect koala habitats if is re-elected in New South Wales on Saturday. Premier Christina Keneally made time today during her campaign bus tour to visit Sydney's Taronga Zoo and pat a koala. They are one of the most popular attractions here at the zoo, of course, but in the wild we want to preserve koala habitats, Miss Keneally said. Miss Keneally also promised $500,000 to complete a 60-kilometre scenic bushwalk in Sydney that will stretch from North Head to South Head. A number of gaps between walking tracks on the North Shore and in Sydney's east would be completed to form one continuous track.
For the koalas.
Maybe not. I just think, why are they making promises like this? 16, okay, good. That's good and all. You want to protect the koalas and stuff. They need protecting, but $16 million for that. I mean, I can almost accept it because it's a living creature, but then $500,000 just for a bushwalk, for people to walk in that you don't even need. Why don't they ever spend the money to actually fix up things like transportation and roads and stuff like that?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because it's a neutral thing. Only critical bastards like yourself would be upset by this. If you were a dumb part of the population, he'd accept it. Wow, that's awesome. 16 million to save koalas and 500,000 to build a new bushwalk track that I'm never going to use.
Yeah.
Why would they build?
I'm not going to go look at a koala either.
I've thought that koalas were overpopulating. That's why I've been killing them. I'm joking.
But luckily, I'm doing the work for them because I've come up with my own idea to help the congestion problem that is rife in Sydney. And I think I should ring up my local member and see if I can pitch that to him. Might get him voted back into power if he accepts it.
Lauren speaking.
Oh, hi, Lauren. This is Jeremy Cactine. How are you?
Yes, well, thank you. Can I help you?
Could I speak to Kevin Green, please?
Sorry, what was your name?
Jeremy Cactine.
Right, just a moment. I'll just check.
Thank you. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Success in the world. Dun, 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 dun.
Conquer those fucking liberals.
Tim Martin speaking. Kevin's just in a little small meeting at the moment. Can I help?
I've just got an idea that I think is going to get Kevin re-elected.
Oh, good. Always listen to those. How do we spell your surname, firstly?
Oh, it's Cactine.
Yep, as it's pronounced. Good, Jeremy. Tell me more, because he's going to be. He's on. We've got him scheduled to be ringing people around today, but I'll be seeing him in about 15 minutes when he's out of a meeting.
Okay.
What's the story?
My idea is just it's an idea to fix traffic problems.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I just think we should set up a device where, at say a T intersection, where the traffic is going through, a device that phases a car into another dimension, and they just go straight through, and then at the same time, the car going in the opposite direction to phase to a different frequency, so that basically the cars pass straight through each other, so the traffic never has to stop.
Right. Well, I'll pass that on, Jeremy. Thank you for the call. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much.
He knew you were an idiot.
Oh.
What happened to the blonde tap dancer? She fell in the sink.
Excuse me?
Hi, we're just testing out David Koch's joke book. Did you find that funny?
No?
Oh. See you later. He sounded quite threatened.
Well, David Koch's jokes are quite threatening at times.
Maybe he was a blonde.
How many men does it take to wallpaper a room? Depends on how thinly you slice them.
Is that right?
Yeah. Did you find that joke funny at all?
Only a tiny bit.
Oh, okay. I mean, it is a little bit sexist, I know. Would you like to hear another one by any chance?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This is a pretty good one. What do Telstra and a bad hooker have in common?
I've got no idea.
They charge heaps for an STD.
Oh, yes, of course.
That's pretty good, actually. Anyway, that was just a joke from the book, from the joke book by David Koch.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he is a very, very funny man. I mean, I couldn't miss a moment of the day without. I couldn't start the day without watching Koshi.
Oh, that's true. I'm sensing a little bit of sarcasm in your voice. Would that be the case?
Yeah, there would be. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Oh well, thank you for your time. That's another 2 points for me.
2 points.
Yep.
Good.
Thank you.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
He didn't laugh. Would you ever stuff your pet, Jared?
All our dead pets are buried out in our backyard.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, maybe a little. I don't know. No.
One day they'll come back to life and...
Well, just imagine whenever that house gets sold, the people are going to, be digging there to build another house or whatever, and they're going to find so many skeletons out there. That's like, 25 years worth of pets.
Whoa. How many pets did you have in these 25 years?
I don't know. Animals don't live that long, not even dogs. So there's been, I think, 3 dogs, 1 cat, a budgie, a number of guinea pigs and rabbits.
Holy shit.
But, they don't live that long.
How do you remember where you've buried them, and how do you kind of draw out a grid?
Because these pets actually meant something to us.
Oh, okay.
It's not like we go out there and, weep over their graves every year on the anniversary of their death, but,
Well, I mean, the amount of pets you have, you'd be weeping every month.
Yeah. Well, at least we're better than you, Mr. You don't want this pet anymore, stick it on the balcony, let the crows take it.
That was one animal. There was one mice.
That was...
One mouse.
That was 2 animals. You said it last week, didn't you?
Yeah, but the crow didn't take the fish.
Yeah. No, sorry. God took that one.
Yeah, God takes everyone. All women want is to feel special, and maybe a story to spark jealousy among their friends. Let's face it, women are women, so I think we should meet halfway. Men should take notes from the character of Noah Calhoun, and women should go easy on the rom-coms. What the hell is a rom-com, Jared?
Romantic comedy.
Okay, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Did you really not know what a rom-com was?
I thought it was some kind of,
Some sort of battery-powered sex aid?
No, like it's like a magazine for IT people. Rom-coms.
So, contextually, that article probably made very
no
little sense
to me. Yeah, I was like, is this woman like in IT or something? Hello, this is the Morning Glory podcast show with Wilson Tian and Jared Bett. Hi, we're just calling to test out Koshi's joke book. Would you like to hear a joke?
Oh, no, thank you.
Fantastic. Sorry. Why are men and parking spaces alike?
No.
Because all the good ones are gone and only ones left are disabled. Shut up.
Halfway through again.
That's mine.
Hi, this is Jared and Wilson from the Morning Glory podcast. How are you going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, thank you. We're just calling around to test out the brilliant jokes of David Koch. Would you like to hear a joke?
No, that's okay.
Fantastic. How do you circumcise a whale? You send...
Finish the joke, Jared.
Oh, the people are waiting to hear the punchline. How do you circumcise a whale? You send in 4 skin divers. That's what I would do. If I was a taxidermist, I'd do like a chimera thing, put different bits of animals together, and then ultimately maybe like make it a bit of a cyborg, stick roller skates on it, and kick it down the street in front of a bunch of kids.
Mommy!
It's gonna get you. Cassandra from Double Bay asks, how do I make a painting out of recycled materials? I am doing this project for environmental science, and I need to make a painting using recycled materials. So can anyone give me any ideas as to what I could use? What are your thoughts on recycling, Wilson?
I recycle when there's a recycling bin around.
But what if there isn't? Do you go out of your way to try and, put things in the right bins? Say if you go to to a shopping centre and up to the food court, these days they've got, plastic, glass, general rubbish. Would you go to the effort of dividing it up?
I do.
Do you?
I do. I
don't believe you.
Well, the bins are there for a reason, so I was
It doesn't mean you have to use them.
Yeah, well, I think, even though that I do, I think all the bins just end up in the same compactor anyway.
That'd be funny if you saw the cleaner coming along, open each bin and just put it all into the same bag.
That's what I think happens.
And then stick it in a trolley, ride down a hill, and make some money out of it. Yeah.
Well, Jared, you're quite the artistic, creative person.
Oh. Yes.
How would you make an artwork out of recycled material?
Well, I would go to a public park, smash open one of those syringe deposit boxes.
Those biohazard containers.
Yeah, those things. Yeah, smash that open with a giant rock. Take them home. I'd make a mold, like a body mold, of somebody I know. Maybe you would like to. And then, hopefully I remember to take you out of the mold. Then I take the needles, stick it all over, and I'll be like, look at it, it's contemporary art. I'm an artist. And then I would submit it to some sort of art gallery and then make $10,000 on it because it's art. It's contemporary art.
Jared, that skit's actually been done before.
What skit?
That skit.
I didn't mean it as a joke. I'm dead serious.
No, it's been done before.
What do you mean?
It's been done before.
What are you talking about?
They've done it.
Who has done it? Elaborate.
I don't know what the artist was called, but they did it.
Did what?
Did what you just described.
What, smash open a thing of needles and stick it in a...
Well, no, they got their own needles. I think they're clean. But it's...
Well, I don't want that. I want the real thing. That's real art, man. Suffering for art. Especially if the person hasn't come out of the cast yet.
I hope you don't prick yourself.
I told you I'll suffer for my art. What are your thoughts on contemporary art?
I have no opinion on them.
Like, it's a pile of rubbish on the floor and they call that art?
I think some people like that and probably see an artistic side to it, but when I see it, I don't think anything.
I was looking at, today it came out on the news, this year's Archibald's painting finalists or whatever. And you see those paintings and they're like, almost as good as photographs of the people. You know what it is? The
Archibald. Yeah, Archibald.
Yeah.
It has to be portraits, right?
Yeah, like a portrait of a person, usually celebrity or something like that. Mm-hmm. But, they're almost as good as looking at a photo. And it's like, that takes talent. That's artistic. Taking a couple of roof tiles and smashing them on the floor and calling it sadness, that's not art.
I agree with you. The only argument they have is that, well, we have photo cameras today, so why would you paint a picture of someone when you can just take a photo of someone?
Well, that's
and then
really...
smash it on the floor and call it sadness. That's art.
Yeah.
That's, you know what, that would be the best art argument against you. Your argument there.
Smashing the camera.
Yeah. There you go. Boom!
Yeah.
I went to an art gallery one time.
One time? Okay.
Actually, quite a few times. Felt kind of ripped off. Paid $25 to go in and...
$25?
Yeah.
Isn't that free? Isn't it just...
Oh, no, this is like an installation by this guy named Olafur Eliasson.
What does he do?
Installations. I don't think we know enough about art to say anything about it.
No, that's not true. All art is subjective, which is obviously proven by the trash that is thrown around.
So then, what does your opinion matter when, if you say broken tiles is boring and ridiculous?
Well, I'm not saying it does matter. It's just my opinion.
We should become contemporary artists, Jared.
That is one of my goals in life, is to just throw a bunch of shit together and say it's artwork.
Yeah, it's a work in progress right now with this Morning Glory podcast.
Yeah. It's a bunch of... Oh, this could be an awesome art installation. Just play this podcast. Because it's like a bunch of trash thrown together. But it's in audio form. It's amazing. Anyway, Cassandra, to answer your question...
Hello. I just got a new book called Koshi's Joke Book. Why do men find it difficult to make eye contact?
I have no idea.
Because breasts don't have eyes.
Right.
Do you think it was funny?
Not particularly.
What about, did you hear about the dyslexic rabbi? He walks around saying, yo.
Right.
No, not really impressed, huh?
No.
Have a good night, then.
Oh, hi. G'day. Sorry, did you just receive a call from some young boy trying to read you a joke?
Yes.
Oh, God. Sorry, that's just my son. I got him this new book and he's just been messing around with it. Anyway, I'm really sorry about that, but I'd just like to apologise to you by reading you a joke. What do you call a New Zealand farmer with a sheep under each arm? A pimp.
Right. Thanks, bye.
Do you accept that apology?
Not really, but...
Well, I think the so far the Koshi joke down has been a close tie, close draw.
Very close. 0-0. Miles from Gladesville asks, when bedbugs burrow under the skin, what danger can they harm? Doesn't make sense either.
That is quite a question, Jared. Have you had bedbugs before?
I haven't, but I don't know. Do they even exist in this country?
Apparently they do, and they're pretty dangerous too, because I think I saw on this insect documentary a while back, these bedbugs can suck your blood, and then once they suck your blood, they'll shit in your mouth afterwards. And this
and thus completes the circle of life. Hakuna Matata.
When they shit in your mouth, there's like toxins in their shit, and you can die.
Why do they shit in your mouth?
Because it's warm.
I didn't even think bedbugs existed up until, I grew a brain. Because, that whole don't let the bedbugs bite crap that they go on with when you're a child.
Well, why do you think they say it?
Yeah, well, they say a lot of things, don't they? Don't look at the TV screen for too long because your eyes will go square, or rectangle these days, high definition. Don't
hold don't ugly face and the wind changes direction,
it'll stay like that.
You'll stay like that forever.
I thought it was one of those things. And now I, learned that out of all the crap that could have been true, why couldn't the Tooth Fairy have been true, or Santa or something? But bed bugs, that has to be true.
Well, I think you're
horrifying.
still young, Jared. I think in your later years, you'll find that they are true. You're just naive right now. When you're like 60 and you're like, oh, you're fairies here.
When all my teeth are falling out.
Yeah.
Just be desperate for a couple of dollars because the pension won't be paying my way.
No. Not in that. Not in the economy we're in now, and the projected one that we're going to be in. And yeah, those bed bugs are dangerous, and I think there's like more than one type of bug. But it says something that his sleeping habits horrible. His bed is probably dirty.
Maybe he sleeps in the dirt outside. He just calls them bed bugs. They're just ants. He's sleeping in an ant's nest.
I have never had bed bugs.
Yeah, me neither. And I don't know anyone that has. That's why I thought they were, pretend.
I used to have fleas in the place we live now. The carpet was infected by fleas.
It's probably all the wild animals you're bringing into the place.
No.
Like the mouse you found out in the wild and just brought it inside.
Well, no.
And we always know that balcony has, a lot of visits from the magpie who swoops away all your dead animals. So maybe it left a few fleas there as well.
One day I was lying on the carpet and a flea jumped in my eye. And I was like, ah! But I was like, how do I get it out? But then I realized I couldn't get it out alive, so I had to suffocate it in my tears. So I drowned it in my tears.
Which came first, though? Were you crying because you realized you had to suffocate a poor innocent creature?
No, it was because it was painful.
The cheaper way would have just been to put Frontline on you and your You just put a drop on the back of your neck. It lasts for like 6 months.
I don't think it works.
Yeah, it does.
Frontline.
Yeah.
Do you do that to your pets?
Yeah. I don't like the fact that you keep scratching your head like that.
Well, all this talk about fleas is making me itchy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Anyway, to answer your question, whatever your name was...
Get a flea bomb. Do you know any people by the name of Teddy, Jared?
that's like an old person's name.
Is it? I kind of feel weird when... My name's Teddy. Oh, are you a bear? Haha.
It's weird. I don't understand. Teddy is supposed to be... Well, it's supposed to be short, I suppose, or a nickname for Edward.
How's that work?
I don't know.
Ed,
but that's how it works.
Teddy. I guess so. It's like Arthur, Art.
Yeah, but you can take Arthur and shorten it down. Edward, you shorten it down and becomes Ed. Why Ted? Why Teddy?
How do you get stupid. Dick from Richard?
I'd take him out on a date. I don't know.
Yeah! What time is it, Jared?
It's 9:30. Oh, it's time for our popular movie review, Wilson.
What was the movie we saw?
The movie we watched this week was called The Man Who Eats Badgers. That was the sole reason I chose it for the name.
And actually, the movie was maybe 1/5 about a man who eats badgers, and the rest was actually about the lives of the people who live around this man who eats badgers.
The people who live in a town or an area called Bodmin Moor.
This place is considerably isolated, It is a moor. There's a lot of flat land. It's about, 80 hectares or something? I forget. But the population is considerably male. I did not see a single woman through the whole documentary. And that was one of the reasons why the documentary maker was there. He was to investigate the effects of isolation on these men living in the mall.
I'm kind of annoyed. It was a misleading title in a way. I mean, it's called The Man Who Eats Badgers. Okay, that happens. But the main theme of it was these 4 or 5 men that he interviewed and did this documentary about were all estranged from their wives or families in some way.
Yeah. Only one of them ate a badger. The upside of this this documentary is that he doesn't stop at cats. He goes all the way, like ferrets. What was one of them?
My favourite was a barn owl.
Yeah, I remember he said, "That's a barn owl. Very nutritious."
Yeah. I mean, basically, the guy, okay, he eats these weird animals, but he doesn't go out and hunt them himself. He's too old for that. He just picks up roadkill off the A80 or some major road. So, yeah, it's mainly wild animals, I suppose.
Have you ever tasted the delights of roadkill, Jared?
I really, really want to. It would make me think of the animals of Farthing Wood. I just want to eat most of the cast of the animals of Farthing Wood.
We should do that sometime. Next time we go to Canberra, we see a dead marsupial on the road, we should go cook it up.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
I love how he has them all crushed up and in his freezer. Especially the barn owl. The barn owl was its head was smashed in a little bit.
It was. No, I don't think the barn owl was crushed up. It was just it'd been dead for a while. That its face had molded into the shape of the road, the footpath.
Yeah, maybe.
It really looked like he had. It looked like taxidermy, where they stuffed dead animals for presentation. It looked like that.
The barn owl did, but the rest of it was
just pieces of meat. He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, there's a cock ferret." He didn't even call it a. He said, "Oh, that's a cock ferret."
That's a cock pheasant, I think he said.
A cock
Now that I
pheasant.
think about it, I don't think it was a... Anyway, cock ferret sounds fun. I like how he there's a dead frozen badger in his freezer and he pulls it out and goes, "Oh, this one's gone a bit green. Still good, still nutritious, it'll taste great, but just the fat in it's gone a bit green."
That's been there for 30 days.
It was obviously too much for his wife, who apparently eats dinner away from him and up in her room, and she's a vegetarian.
I know, what a slap in the face. And
With
she
a
hides
dead
away.
badger.
I like his points on why you should eat roadkill. He says that if you buy the meat from the supermarket, you don't know what they've done to it. You're unsure about it. But if you get something off the road, it's natural and it's untouched by humans.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how all the cavemen back in the day ate their food as well. They went and picked it off something that's been hit by a car and been sitting in the sun on the tar for 30 days.
Some of the
Nothing more
specimens
natural than that. Sorry.
Some of the specimens that he got off the road looked actually quite fresh. Like rigor mortis hadn't set in; it was still soft and.
Yeah, and he was talking to them as well, swinging them around. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
aren't you
fella.
Aren't you a beautiful young man? Come on, young man. He calls it a
Yeah,
young
he
man.
called the dead badger a young man. That's because he doesn't talk to anybody, not even his wife.
No.
It's probably like his son, his dead frozen son that he's going to eat.
Did you take note of the nuisance calls that he kept on getting?
Yes, I love that. That was the opening scene of the movie where he gets prank calls from people posing as the roadkill that he's eaten.
I think that's quite creative.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we should do something like that.
Haunting someone as,
That's a
But
dead rabbit.
He's not afraid of it. Do you have the quote?
No, I don't actually. Should have written it
I
down.
have the quote.
Do the voice as well, because it's a great voice.
And this is the first thing you hear actually when the documentary begins. So, quote, Saturday, 3:12 a.m. Message 4. Do you believe in reincarnation, Mr. Boyd? I am that rabbit that you killed 6 months ago, Mr. Boyd. You dirty, filthy cunt. And then hangs up.
I like how he gets a private investigator in as well, and he reckons that it's a whole bunch of different people doing the prank calls, but they play a bunch of them, and it's obviously the same person.
Well, no, there was...
They say all the time as well.
Yeah, there's
Brilliant.
2 other ones.
Even he says it. Do you remember when he screams it out as well? He finishes it off. He's listening to the prank call, and then it stops, and he goes, because they go, "You fucking," and he goes, "Cunt."
He enjoys it. I think he
Yeah.
enjoys it.
His wife doesn't. I basically didn't pay attention to anything other than the guy who ate roadkill. There was 30 minutes worth of other people as well, but they were boring.
Yeah.
Except for the guy who is looking for a panther.
Yeah, Clifford Kempthorne. Searching for
That sounds like a fake name.
Well, that was his name.
Kempthorne.
and he was standing on top of one of those rocks doing his Tai Chi. But I found the whole documentary really wasn't about badgers. It was about...
Yeah, it was just misleading.
Yeah, it was actually about the psychological problems... Well, not problems, I don't know. Of these middle-aged to elderly men living in isolation away from women. Why do we always pick documentaries like that?
Well, you didn't pick it because of that. I picked it because it says the man who eats badgers. That sounds hilarious to me. We got ripped off again. So what would you rate it out of 10?
I thought it was pretty terrible, and I was really bored, so I gave it a 1 out of 10.
I also thought it was terrible. I gave it a 9. I would give it a 10 out of 10 if Arthur had run over his cat and eaten it as well.
And then eaten it in front of his wife.
Yeah.
A friend of mine once told me, Wilson, you have a very unique voice. I'm like, really, why? Every time I leave you, I hear you for the next half an hour.
I don't think he meant that as a compliment.
I don't think she did either.
Oh, she. You are probably one of the biggest hypochondriacs I've ever met in my life. I mean, like...
Ever.
Yeah, probably.
You haven't met a lot of people, Jared.
One of the first... I think it was actually the first week we did the first podcast all those weeks ago. You said something like... You said something about the fact that you can't concentrate, and then you said, I've got ADD, despite the fact that you've never been to anybody to get that.
Hold your horses. I don't think you put that in on the first episode, but I think it's off the record somewhere.
Yeah, it is. That was because it wasn't funny at the time. I thought it was stupid, but now it's appropriate.
It's relevant, is it? Maybe it's just poor study habits.
No, but see, you do actually think you have ADD, despite the fact that you haven't been to any doctor or psychologist or psychiatrist to be diagnosed. You're the type of person...
It's just a theory.
No, okay, but you genuinely think you have it, don't you? You're the type of person that like sees a bump on their leg, it goes straight to Google, types it in, and thinks they've got chickenpox or measles or something like that, aren't you?
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it on
I knew it.
I just want to be sure. These bumps come and go.
This is where the internet's no good. It really fuels the hypochondriacs.
Well, I guess so. But you gotta take it with a grain of salt, really, and some Metamucil.
I'll make you feel... Okay, so what's your latest sickness? What do you feel sick from right now?
I don't know, I'm sweating. The last sickness that I've looked up was diabetes.
Do you think you have diabetes?
No, I just saw it. It was interesting. I want bulimia, no, but I don't throw up.
Oh God, I got bulimia. I don't throw up. I don't have any of the other symptoms, but I must have it. God, I'm so anxious. Okay, let's see. You said sweating, so let's look up hot flushes.
Oh, is it one of those new age books that give alternate therapy to...
It is, but this is the worst I've ever seen in my life.
Did you buy this?
My mother's going to hate me for saying this. I got this straight off her...
Bookshelf.
I got it straight off her bookshelf. Let me just introduce the book then. It's called Heal Your Body, A to Z by Louise L. Hay. Okay, there's no hot flushes in here. I can't find that. Let's just pick a random one. So let's say you have an abscess, Wilson.
What's an abscess, Jared?
I don't know, actually. I shouldn't have brought that up.
I think that's a tear in the skin or something like that.
This book says if you've got an abscess, the probable cause is fermenting thoughts over hurts, slights, and revenge. Okay? That's the reason you have an abscess. Do you want to know how to overcome it?
Yes, please.
Don't even think about going to the doctor. Don't be stupid. Don't even look up on Google. The new thought pattern you have to start implementing into your life is, I allow my thoughts to be free. The past is over. I am at peace. You think that constantly. The abscess is gone.
I like how it solved like a problem that probably claims a lot of lives in the world in, 3 sentences?
Oh, anus problems. Let's skip that. Let's say you have rabies. You didn't get bitten by a wild animal or step on something out in the woods.
How did I get rabies, Jared?
Oh, anger. You're very angry. A belief that violence is the answer. Don't hit me. You'll get rabies.
Is it the rabies causing the anger or the anger
Obviously
causing the rabies?
Not. Don't be stupid.
How do I cure that, Jared?
You want to know how to cure it? Okay. Your new thought pattern's going to be, I am surrounded and indwelled with peace. Kind of fairly similar to the last one, actually. Isn't that funny?
Get rid of rabies and abscesses at the same time.
I am surrounded and indwelled with peace. I feel better already.
What about amputation?
That's conveniently left out of there.
Yeah.
I figure just have some, put your best foot forward. Have those kind of thoughts. Here's my favourite one. Let's say you have AIDS.
It actually says that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, probably one of the worst illnesses you could possibly get. You didn't get it by blood-to-blood contact. You got it by feeling defenseless and hopeless. Nobody cares. A strong belief in not being good enough. denial of the self, sexual guilt. That's what gave you your AIDS. Anyway, do you want to know how to get rid of AIDS?
Yes.
It's an incurable disease. But obviously not. Don't be an idiot. Here's your new thought pattern. I am part of the universal design. I am important, and I am loved by life itself. I am powerful and capable. I love and appreciate all of myself. See, it's a serious illness, so this one goes a little bit longer than the other ones. But yeah, you take on that new thought pattern, you're as good as cured. Don't even go to the doctor.
I like this book because it makes me responsible for my own well-being. And if it doesn't cure the disease, it's my own fault.
Exactly. It's your fault. You're going to die.
Is the whole book like that, Jared?
Yeah, every single thing. That shows you the different range of illnesses, like very simple things to incurable diseases. Basically, the new thought patterns are the same every time. I don't know how she rewrote those thought patterns,
in so
300
many
times.
different. Yeah. This is funny. I find this one kind of interesting. Your problem is deafness, Jared.
What?
Yeah. And the probable cause for deafness is rejection, stubbornness, isolation. What don't you want to hear? Don't bother me. I think she means more of a metaphorical deafness, but I'm going to take it as a clinical deafness. And the remedy for this problem, the new thought pattern, is I listen to the divine and rejoice at that I am able to hear.
See, that in itself is completely interpretable in any way you want. Look up frigidity.
That's what it says.
Oh, really?
Fear, denial of pleasure, a belief that sex is bad, insensitive partners, and the fear of your father.
Oh, that's true. I do fear my father.
Your new thought pattern is, it is safe for me to enjoy my own body. I rejoice being a woman.
Something tells me we're not the market for this book.
Obviously, our podcast isn't the market for it. Let's go to that.
This has brought me to the conclusion, basically, that women are stupid. Look up sexism.
That'll cure us.
Well, that's about all we have time for, and we're saying that as if we actually had a set time we were going for, but we don't, because, you see, based on this medium, what we do is we just talk for a little while, and once we feel we're done, we stop, and then I edit it later on. So basically...
It's just full of setups and punchlines. There's no awkward moments of silence. You are listening to the Morning Glory podcast. Remember to Facebook us and all those people who are listening and Twitter us.
Oh, the terminology is all wrong.
You and your fucking structure.
Like us on Facebook. You follow us on Twitter. For God's sake, Wilson, send us an email at mail@morningglorypodcast.com, or you can visit the website. There's lots of cool stuff there, sort of.
Blank pages. Everyone loves blank pages.
I put the dog pictures up.
What dog pictures?
The pictures of the rubber dog.
What rubber dog?
The dog CPR.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. This is Morning Glory podcast with Wilson Tian and
Jared Betts.
Have a good night. Or day.
See, I just told you about the whole editing thing. They listen whenever they want to.
And this is just... We're just going to trail off a bit. We're just going to talk and trail off a bit.
Yeah, if you just say a current affairs show or a news show or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like we can... there's another life up there.
We don't need to do the hand movements, though, because there's no camera around.